Now, for the remainder of this week, we're not quite there yet. We're at 57,000, but if we could end this week at 59,000, it'll be pretty good. Pretty good. Doesn't mean it's mandatory. I never buy the notion that like you have to hit this point for a weekly close or a monthly close to be bullish, because when billions come in, the charts mean nothing. But if you're following this, if we're going to have a breakout, okay, from this bullish, I don't know what you call this, bullish ascending, it's not a wedge, ascending channel, I guess. But if we were to break above 59,000, that means we're getting ready to break up. No, this is a flag, ascending flag. So if we break to the top side of the flag, and then we're ready to break out, right? So that's kind of like what this is looking at. But overall, you just have to look at where the money's flowing, right? When these big boys continue to load up and buy more and more Bitcoin, come on, it's not rocket science. Okay, these guys know the game. They may be manipulating the game, but when they're putting in billions upon billions upon billions into Bitcoin, you know something's going on, right? They are accumulating and loading up for the long haul. It's the greatest asset that we have. It's the one asset that was created to go against all the shenanigans I've been talking about with the central banks, with inflation, with debt, with overprinting and everything else, and monetary policies. Bitcoin is the one that was created to defend against all of that. And so far, it has worked. Look at where Bitcoin is now versus previous years, previous cycles. Look at where it started, and look at where it is now when countries are now talking about, presidential candidates are talking about Bitcoin. That was a pipe dream even back in 2017. 2021, no one talked about it. Now everyone is talking about it. So just think about that. The maturity level of Bitcoin is growing by leaps and bounds every single cycle. Well, besides Bitcoin going up, we got a lot of movement, right? For example, the global market cap is above $2 trillion once again. Just recently, we hit like a 1.8 or something. So we're up like a staggering 20% off of our bottom. But of course, we're not fully recovered yet. But you have some that have come up really, really fast. Look at Solana. Solana's up a staggering almost 11% today, above 152. And it has flipped BNB. It is now at number 4 once again. The ratio between this and ETH is starting to get really, really close, right? Once upon a time, I did say, I think Solana's go flip Ethereum. It's looking more and more like that could be the case by the end of this cycle. So why is Solana doing so well? Well, I mean, you still have a lot of memes on Solana, right? When retail wants to buy in, a lot of retail, they are focusing on memes. They're not focusing on a lot of other alts right now. They're focusing on memes. So Solana, we know, is driven by memes, and you have someone like Popcat and Whiff up 30%, right? So that's definitely helping Solana pump up in a big way. A lot of activity, a lot of volume still, right? And overall, you just have a lot of people buying. A lot of people buying Solana. And I talked about that ETH and SOL ratio. The SOL ETH ratio, I should say, is at an all-time high. And this continues, ETH better watch out. Solana's not too far off, right? And if you look at patterns like this, inverse head and shoulders pattern, right, is looking pretty good as well. But Solana is not going to go anywhere, right? And I'm not saying that they're the only one that's going up. There are a lot of projects going up right now, right? Look at even Doge. Doge is up 6% today. But this is good. This is good. People are loading up. People are DCAing. That's what you want to see, right? You're supposed to buy low and sell high. You're not supposed to buy high and sell low. That's why what I do is make you guys understand and hopefully help you guys calm down when we have these scary periods. The best thing to do during these scary periods is either do nothing and continue to hodl or DCA, like so many people have. If you want to comment on anything I've said in this video, make sure you head over to the Roundtable. The Roundtable is a new social media platform created for conversations. And best of all, it's spam-free, bot-free, unlike here on YouTube. And you could have conversations with me and others like Altcoin Daily, Scott Melker, Mauro Nafal, and many others are joining daily. And you also get rewarded in tokens for doing so. So check out the new Roundtable. Click the link in the description below. Now, of course, we've talked about a lot of emergency cuts recently, right? Are we going to get one this month? Well, seemingly like the chance of that is less and less and less and less. However, the next meeting, the next FOMC meeting, could bring a 50 basis point cut, right? Which kind of makes up for two. There's a 63.5% chance of that, and 36.5% chance of just the 25 basis point cut. So that's what it's looking like right now. And even the person who created the SAM rule, who's now saying that, yeah, even though her metric is showing that we're in recession, she doesn't even think that the Fed needs an emergency rate cut at this point. So we'll see. We'll see. So that's what's kind of going on today. But today we're having, so far, so good. You know, pretty green, right? Let's see what happens. So it does seem like all the worries about recession and everything else somehow has dissipated a little bit. You know, that's what money does. That's what green does. When people see green, they forget about recession. When people see red, it's recession calls, right? That's just how it is. But you know what? What's this major bull signal? Okay. Well, it's really simple. And it does relate to the Fed and cutting rates. Look at what happened, the blue dots. Okay. You could see what happened in 2020 after the Fed fund rate was cut multiple times. Well, the money started swirling around and Bitcoin started going up, right? And you can see where we are right now. And we know that the rate cuts are coming, right? And that happens to be around the September timeframe. And that happens to be the time, if you look, when the Bitcoin bull market starts. I've shown this many times. If you look at the past two cycles, when did Bitcoin start moving? Right around September, October timeframe. So it's all aligning. And this time around, we'll have this catalyst too. Rate cuts. Okay, we may get a 50 basis one next month. And then who knows? Powell may say that, hey, we may have one more by the end of the year. Maybe one in December too. That could certainly help jumpstart things. But even without this, like I said, if you look at previous cycles, right around the September-October timeframe is when Bitcoin really runs. And right around then is when we have elections too. So it's like a perfect storm of bull signals all together. But this is a pretty telling one if you look at it.